He was the deadliest hitman alive, codenamed the Mechanic. He tried to vanish, but got forced back to kill under the world's tightest security. Arthur faked his death with a massive explosion and slipped away. He hid out in a quiet corner of Rio de Janeiro, living a normal, peaceful life, but trouble found him. Strangers showed up at his door. They knew he faked his death. A female agent had a job for him. Kill 3 high-value targets, or the world learns the Mechanic's alive. Arthur hates being threatened, especially by a bunch of low-level goons. So he grabbed plates, chairs, and tables as cover and weapons, dropping them all fast. He leaped off the ledge. The agent guessed he'd flee by cable car. She chased after him, but the cable car was empty. They had no clue. Arthur had already pulled himself silently onto the roof of the cable car. Then he spotted a powered paraglider nearby. A crazy, bold plan formed. His escape plan clicked. He'd nail one perfectly timed jump. But his footsteps gave him away. She kicked the hatch open, almost on the roof. Arthur leaped. Mid-air, he steadied himself and landed on a passing paraglider's wing. She just watched. She watched him shrink to a dot. Arthur returned to his hidden houseboat. He caught armed mercenaries ransacking the place. His cover was blown. Mercy would get him killed. He slipped underwater. Cold-faced, he hit the detonator on C4 he deplanted earlier. The boat went up in a fireball, killing both mercs. He watched it burn. Arthur knew the quiet life was over. He moved to a backup safe house. He pried up dusty floorboards and pulled out gear, passports, and stacks of cash. He posted her photo on the dark web, a million bounty to ID her. Under a new name, he met old friend Arjun on an island near Phuket. Years back, Arthur saved Arjun's life in combat. That bond meant everything now. One of the few he trusted. Soon the bounty paid off. The agent's identity surfaced. Her boss was Crane, a global arms smuggling kingpin. Crane was loaded with a private army of ex-special forces. One night, Arjun rushed over, pointing at a nearby yacht. A man was beating a woman he knew. Arjun feared she'd be killed. He begged Arthur to step in. The cold ex-killer instinctively said no. But Arjun wouldn't quit. If Arthur won't go, he'd go himself. Arthur gave in. He grabbed a knife and light gear, slipped aboard under cover of dark, hoping to talk. Instead, the man swung a weapon, taunting him. Arthur fought back with lethal CQC, using a spear gun as leverage. He slammed the man into the hull. His head hit a post, dead. The girl Gina fainted from shock. Arjun arrived and Arthur left her in his care. He stayed to clean the scene, searching the man's things to erase traces. He found clear photos of himself saved on Gina's phone. A chill ran through him. This was no coincidence. It was a carefully set trap. He drove the yacht to deep water and torched it, destroying every trace. Then he stormed into Gina's room, demanding answers. Caught in the lie, Gina confessed everything. She was Crane's bait. But not willingly. Crane had her by a deadly weakness. She ran a Cambodian shelter. It took in war orphans. Crane used those kids' lives to force her hand. The beating on the yacht was staged to bait Arthur's sympathy. He used his intel network. To verify Gina's past, she was retired as Special Forces, sick of the wars. Her deep kindness earned Arthur's respect. The cold wall inside him slowly began to melt. Arthur's instincts kick in fast. Klein has eyes watching the water. They're watching day and night with military scopes, so he decides to turn the tables. He plays a mind game, faking a romance with Gina, so Klein thinks he is winning. But real feelings start to grow. In a little hut, they drop every disguise. They open up completely. Then Arthur takes the watch his father left him and slips it onto Gina's wrist for an agent ready to die on a mission. Moments like this never last. The next morning, Klein's mercenaries roar in on tactical speedboats. A web of red laser sights and M4 rifles instantly lock onto them. Arthur doesn't resist. He surrenders. This is step 1 of his plan, only by getting grabbed alongside Gina. Can he be brought straight to Klein himself? At Klein's heavily guarded yacht, Arthur first gets a brutally thorough search. A guard waves him to a chair. As he sits, he hears a strange mechanical click. Under the chair, a pressure bomb stand up, and the explosives tear him apart. Now Klein strolls in, smug like a cat with a mouse, handing Arthur 3 secret files. He orders Arthur to kill all 3, each looking like an accident. For Gina's safety, Arthur has no choice. He is the Mechanic again, first target, an African. An arms-dealing warlord locked in a sea fortress prison off Penang, Malaysia. The prison sits in shark-infested water, walls towering hundreds of feet, guards packing Remington 870, shotguns and automatic rifles. Getting out is basically impossible. What Arthur does next shows exactly why the Mechanic is so terrifyingly good. No brute force, just brains. He poses as a wanted criminal who looks just like him. Then he breaks down C4 plastic explosive and tiny detonators, disguising them as gum and cigarettes. all ordinary-looking items. Then he picks a street fight with cops and gets himself arrested. He is shipped into the fortress as a prisoner. Inside, his mind runs like a high-speed tactical computer, quickly mapping the guards' patrol routes, camera blind spots, and his target's routine. He spots inmates plotting to kill the warlord, so he saves him in the prison yard. That earns the warlord's trust and a dinner invite to his fancy private cell. With the perfect moment alone, Arthur strikes. No weapon. He slips snake venom and other deadly toxins into the man's soup. He forces it down, then poses the body as if praying. It looks like sudden cardiac arrest, target down. Now comes the hard part, getting out. Back in his cell, Arthur reassembles the C4 and plants it on the outer wall, right at the weakest structural point. Then a deafening blast hits. The unbreakable wall gets blown wide open before the guards rush in with rifles. Arthur coats himself in shark repellent paste made from kitchen supplies, facing the howling wind, and dives in perfect form into the deep water far below. Clean getaway. Klein's pickup boat arrives right on time. First accident done clean. Second target, an Australian billionaire who looks squeaky clean, but secretly runs a human trafficking ring in Sydney. He lives in a heavily guarded penthouse atop a 76-floor skyscraper, surrounded by armed bodyguards. Not even a fly gets in. After studying the blueprints and his habits, Arthur finds one fatal weak spot. The billionaire swims daily in a glass rooftop pool. Arthur poses as a wealthy tenant. He slips into an empty unit below, calculating the pool's bulletproof glass load. He factors in water pressure and wind speed, then preps a corrosive chemical agent. Using electronic suction cup gear, he climbs the smooth glass wall hundreds of feet up. At the pool's underside, he drills a tiny hole in the bulletproof glass. He injects the chemical to weaken the glass. When the billionaire swims to the center as usual, the weakened glass can't hold the water pressure anymore. The bulletproof glass suddenly cracks. By now, Arthur has wiped every trace and strolls through Sydney, suitcase in hand, calm. Crane sees the news, loves it, and rewards Arthur with a call to Gina. A quick encrypted video call. Gina looks exhausted, but her ex-soldier eyes stay sharp. Risking death, she turns the camera toward the yacht's distinct markings and ID number. Arthur gets it, cuts the call, and hacks into the harbor company's database. He pulls the yacht's GPS, suits up in tactical dive gear, and dives deep. Silent as a ghost, he drops the outer guards and slips inside. But as he breaches the cabin, he realizes he has walked into a kill trap Crane set up. Arthur fights hard, instantly snatching a gun, dodging, countering, ripping a frag grenade off a guard to blast several. His close quarters combat skills are terrifying, but endless waves of armed mercs finally overpower him. Crane puts a gun to Gina's head, warning her drop the tricks, finish the last job. Target 3 is American arms tycoon Max, a nearly impossible job. Max spent billions deep in the Bulgarian mountains turning an old Soviet nuclear subbase into a modern fortress. The perimeter has heavy machine guns and a fully armed private army stationed there. The defenses are airtight, but this time Arthur refuses to stay anyone's pawn. He is seen through Crane's whole plan. This was never personal. Crane's using Arthur as his sharpest blade to wipe out his last 3 arms rivals and corner the underground arms market. Once Max dies, Arthur and Gina lose their value and die too, so he decides to flip the game. Instead of charging in, Arthur sets directional charges to cause chaos outside. He wounds the guards, as they call a rescue chopper. He hangs off the chopper's landing gear and sneaks right into the base. Deep in the sub-base, he drops the core guards and pushes open Max's bulletproof safe room door. Facing a stunned Max, Arthur admits Crane sent him here to kill him. But then he pitches a better deal. Team up, fake Max's death, and lure Crane in. Max shows real nerve, even blowing up his own expensive subbase, faking death in the flames. Paranoid Crane sends out a fully armed elite strike team to confirm the kill. The moment they enter the base, they hit Arthur's chain trap of mines and frag grenades rigged from base ammo. The blast wipes them all out. Crane learns the truth and snaps. He orders the yacht to flee. Arthur chases on a speedboat like a vengeful ghost, staying right on its tail. Under the blast's cover, he boards, switching between a stolen assault rifle and a tactical knife, launching a brutal close-quarters assault in the tight cabins. He clears Crane's elite guards one by one. In the firefight, as Gina fights back, a stray round grazes her, and she drops, losing control. Crane triggers the C4 self-destruct in the hull, planning to grab Gina and flee by chopper. Less than 4 minutes left. Alarms blare across the yacht, red lights flashing. Arthur unleashes everything, pinning the enemies with precise bursts and pulling Gina back to him. He gets her into a bulletproof escape pod, hits eject, then turns to face the armed Crane, loaded with heavy firepower. The two brawl bare knuckle on the tilting burning deck in a final close combat showdown. No fancy moves, just lethal military combatives. Crane is vicious, but against the fully unleashed mechanic, he comes up short. Arthur spots an opening. Using a thick anchor chain, he locks Crane to the doomed yacht's railing. Crane thrashes in desperation, but Arthur's cold face doesn't flinch. As a top tactician, he'd already planned his escape. In the last second before zero, Arthur dove into the yacht's reinforced anchor chain locker. A huge blast swallowed everything, leaving only burning wreckage on the water. Just when everyone thought the legendary mechanic had died with his enemies, only Max, who cornered the arms market from the shadows. And finally, Gina, who got that watch in Cambodia, knew the master of staged accidents had pulled off. The most perfect comeback of all.